Greetings everyone. Today is 1st February 2026. It means budget day. Our finance minister will be going to present the budget in the parliament. In the previous video, we understood what the union budget is and how it works. But there's one big reason why many people stop following the budget after the speech, the language. Words like fiscal deficit, capital expenditure, disinvestment, they sound complicated, even intimidating. So, in today's presentation, let's simplify the language of the Indian budget step by step, without jargon, without memorizing definitions. By the end of this video, budget terms will stop sounding foreign. But terminology feels confusing for a simple reason. Too many technical words, too many numbers, too little context. Often, we hear terms being repeated on news panels, but no one pauses to explain what they actually mean. So instead of treating these terms as complex economics, let's treat them as logical ideas. Almost every budget terms start from one basic distinction: revenue and capital. Think of it this way: some things affect only the current years, other things shape the future. The single idea helps us understand most budget concepts. Revenue receipts are the government's regular income. This includes taxes and other routine earnings. It's money that comes in every year and is mainly used to run the government's daily functions, just like a salary for a household. Capital receipts are different. This includes borrowing, selling assets. This money is not earned regularly. It often creates future obligation. Think of it like taking a loan or selling a property. Revenue expenditure is the government's day-to-day spending, like salaries, subsidies, administrative expenses. These expenses keep the system running, but they don't directly create new assets. Capital expenditure is future oriented. This is spending on infrastructure, long term developments, roads, railways, or projects. These expenses may be costly today, but they support growth tomorrow. Now, let's talk about one of the most discussed term: fiscal deficit. Fiscal deficit simply means the gap between what the government spends and what it earns. When spending is more than income, the government has to borrow. That gap is called fiscal deficit. Revenue deficit goes one level deeper. It looks only at revenue, income, and revenue spending. If the government cannot meet its daily expenses from its regular income, it shows a revenue deficit. The signal stress in everyday finance. Primary deficit removes one important component: interest. It tells us how much the government is borrowing, excluding interest payment on past debt. This helps understand the current year's fiscal pressure without the burden of old loan. Direct taxes are paid directly by the individuals or companies. Income tax is the most common example. The burden cannot be shifted to someone else. You earn, you pay. Indirect taxes work differently. They are included in the price of goods and services. So even if you don't realize it, you pay indirect taxes when you buy something. The tax burden is shared and often hidden. Subsidies are government support to reduce cost. They are meant to protect vulnerable groups, control prices, but subsidies also increase government spending. So they are always a balance between support and fiscal discipline. Disinvestment means selling government ownership in certain assets. The goal is to raise money, improve efficiency. It's not always about selling control. Sometimes it's about sharing responsibility. These terms are not just exam material. They help us understand government priorities, fiscal, financial health, economic direction. Once you understand the language, the budget starts making sense. Before we end, let me ask you something. Which budget term confused you the most earlier? Tell me in the comments. Video is part of our Union Budget 2026 series, where we break down complex ideas into simple, usable understanding. Thank you for watching, and let's keep learning fact by fact.